guards, one scream, and a dozen of his most trusted janissaries would come charging through the door, sabers drawn. But he hesitated. In part, he was too shocked, too terrified to react. He also thought they might take him for a fool if the intruder wasn't there. Before he could ponder things too much, the man was back, where he had first appeared, right by the Sultan's bed, mere inches from him. Only this time, the intruder reached down to the floor and raised a yatan, a short saber with a curved blade that was so sharp it could lop off a man's head with a single flick. The Sultan recognized it as one he kept in a display cabinet by the divan, only it wasn't there anymore. It was now pressed against his neck. "If I wanted to kill you, you would have already died 1,000 deaths," the man said. "But as I said, I'm here to be of service. More importantly, I'm here to save you and Kara Mustafa Pasha from a catastrophic defeat." Then he disappeared again, and the dagger fell to the ground and clattered against the marble flooring. Almost instantly, the man appeared again at the foot of the bed. The Sultan lurched back and slammed against the bed's gilded headboard. His breath was coming short and fast, and he was overcome with violent shivers. What was this creature, and how did it know about his plans? He studied the intruder. "Who are you?" he asked. "What are you? Are you—" He hesitated, then asked, "A jinn?" The stranger's face cracked under the hint of a smile. Unlike his father, Mehmed wasn't mentally unstable or degenerate. He was a quiet and melancholy man, but he had one obsession, the legacy of his conquering ancestors. He was immersed in the mystique of the dynasty to which he belonged and hungered to mimic his ancestors' exploits. Lately, he had thrown himself into research to prepare for the coming summer's offensive, carefully studying the chronicles of past military campaigns that lined the shelves of the imperial archives. But Mehmed was also a pious man, and, as such, was very familiar with the jinn, the supernatural creatures of Islamic mythology romanticized as genies. They enjoyed free will and could be agents of good and evil. Without flinching, the intruder watched him in silence. "I am a friend who wants to help you achieve success beyond anything you've dreamt of," he finally told him. "And if you heed my words and allow me to assist you, I can promise you that the golden apple will only be the beginning of your great and most glorious legacy." His words caught the Sultan's breath. How could this intruder know what they were planning? 2 months earlier, the Sultan's gardeners had planted the imperial tuch outside the palace gates, out in the open, for all to see. The meaning of the ancient war banners, tall, elaborately carved crimson poles topped by a flurry of horses' tails, was well known, as it was a ritual that dated back to the days of the Sultan's steppe warrior ancestors. The commander of the faithful would be going to war. The objective of the campaign, however, was a closely guarded secret. "Oh, yes, Your Eminence. I know all about your meeting with Kara Mustafa last week," the tattooed man continued, referring to the Sultan's Grand Vizier. "I know that once the winter snows melt, your army will be marching west. I also know its target won't be the piddling fortified towns that pepper the lands west of Belgrade. No, your army will be marching on Vienna itself and on Leopold, the usurper who dares call himself Holy Roman Emperor." Leopold. The mere mention of the man's name made Mehmed's blood boil. The Sultan nursed a hatred for Leopold I that was far more severe than for his other enemies in Russia or Poland. Mehmed, as the occupier of the old imperial Byzantine throne in Constantinople, considered himself the rightful Kaiser-i Rum, the Caesar of the Roman Empire. To him, the Habsburg monarch was a false claimant to the throne, one who